Revolt Nation. Now, this week on Breakfast Club Extra, the Brilliant Idiots discuss growing up in the condom era. Angela Yee answers your emails, and lip service asks Shauna Brooks and Chanel Ayanna the difference between real life and social media. But first, let's go behind the scenes and find out what our staff thinks about Michael Jackson's legacy. Check it out.
I don't think that the Neverland documentary is going to change Michael Jackson's legacy, especially not for me. I'm a diehard Michael Jackson fan, and I don't think anything can really tarnish his music for me. I think we can separate the artist from their art, so I think his legacy will always remain the same.
It won't change for me, which might be bad to say, but Michael Jackson is legendary in my household. I think it will change for some people just because there are a lot of opinions and a lot of different people can have an opinion on all the facts that they're giving. But for me personally, unfortunately, it will not change. Mike Jack is going to be the man forever.
I really do believe that this documentary is going to tarnish his legacy forever, mainly because of social media. The other half because that man is not here to defend himself. Also, that documentary was way too one-sided. So if you were to just watch that documentary with not that much context, you would think this man is the most ultimate predator, where on the other side, Taj and Marlon called into the Breakfast Club and had a totally opposite story. So who knows? We need the Michael Jackson state to really speak up and help out with these facts.
Honestly, no, because the consensus from what I've seen is a lot of people are not necessarily believing the victims, alleged victims, and I'm not saying that's the right approach to take, but given the fact that this did go to trial and they did testify under oath and say that he did not do it, to now backtrack and he's not alive to defend himself, it's just I don't think it'll affect his legacy.
I don't think it's going to change his legacy because when he was on trial in the 90s, he was found not guilty because the kid's parents lied about it. So, therefore, I don't think it's going to change his legacy. I'm still going to listen to his music. My all-time favorite song by Michael Jackson is Pretty Young Thing.
I don't think it'll change his legacy because, one, Michael Jackson was found innocent twice, and two, they keep changing their answers. Make up your mind.
Do you think the Finding Neverland documentary is going to change Michael Jackson's legacy, yes or no, and why?
I want to believe no. I think Michael Jackson's legacy has already been established. As far as all the negatives that are attached to that, I think those should be laid to rest. The man has now passed, and we should just remember him as he was, which was one of the greatest, if not the greatest entertainer of all time.
It was already such from the beginning that Michael was, having these other people's kids over and whatnot. You're a grown man, why would you do that? And my thing is, I think people know that it's disrespectful for them to throw dirt on his legacy and he's dead. How are you going to do this? He's not even alive to defend himself. The same thing with Whitney and whatnot when they were spilling all this tea about her.
No, because he's still going to have made all the music he did, all that type of stuff. People going to still listen to it. The world is built off a bunch of bullshit. There's a bunch of dumb motherfuckers out here. There's a bunch of lowlifes, a bunch of killers, murderers. So just add him into the bunch, whatever he is, they accept it.
Unless there was proven evidence that Michael Jackson actually did something with these little kids at his house, leaving Neverland, whatever you want to call it, I think it doesn't affect his legacy unless things are proven. And for now, he's just going to remain the king of pop.
What's up, it's Angela Yee, and we are doing Breakfast Club Extra on Revolt TV. And I have Ask Yee for you. Now, this person sent me a message. It's very brief. She said, commitment issues, but I really like this one boy. Still scared to step out of my shell, though. Listen, great things only happen when we take a risk, right? Nothing that is great comes easy, so I think it's really important sometimes for us to let down our guard a little bit, and in a smart way. If you see some red flags, obviously don't do that. But if you feel like he treats you well, you really like him, he likes you, he's reciprocating those things, then I think you should give someone a chance. Also, think about your commitment issues. That's something you need to deal with as well. Find out what happened to you that you have these commitment issues. You need to address those things, get to the root of those problems, because we want you to make educated decisions, right? If you decide, okay, this guy treats me how I want to be treated, we really enjoy spending time together, I like him, I think that he's a good compliment to who I am, then yes, go for it. Worst case scenario, things don't work out. But if he's a player, he's a dog, and you know it, and he's doing things that are disrespectful to you and to your relationship, then don't do it. But I do feel like we do have to let our guards down and live life a little, because you don't want to have regrets later. Shauna is a part of the Lip Service family.
Oh, yes.
And you just did New York Fashion Week.
Oh, yes.
I see you in the Vogue and everything.
Listen, I gagged too, girl. I was like, wow, long way. Paving ways, like dead serious, especially the one. I mean, I'm the Cardi B of the trans community, so they really be trying to knock everything out of my hands.
Mm-hmm.
But now I just have to be in silence. Now I make my moves a little bit silent.
See, the Cardi B thing is an interesting comparison because she has so much support also at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think like sometimes she be letting the hate get to her too much.
Yeah. How could you not?
Mm-hmm.
How could you not? We live this social media era. It's just it's beyond social media now. Like everything, everywhere you go, it's what's your Instagram? What's your who are you?
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit much at times. It's very overwhelming. And I know in the professional career world, I don't want people to judge my Instagram to be me because it's not.
The Instagram is funny as I be looking on it sometimes. I be like, yo, Shauna is crazy.
Mm-hmm. I guess that speaks for my personality, but yeah, I definitely post a lot of crazy stuff that people wouldn't ordinarily see.
Yours is very sexy, Chanel.
Yeah, I keep it sexy. My Instagram is like really, I guess you could say, over sexual, but in real life I'm kind of totally like a tomboy, hippie, universal, like weirdo, and people don't know that at all.
Really? So why that big separation between what you are in real life and your Instagram?
Because I am sexy.
You're both.
I am sexy, and I do love, you know what I mean, my look, and I like being a girl, and I like all the girly stuff, and having, you know, boobs and butt and all those things. But I really am just hella chill. Like on my everyday, like I hate wearing makeup. I hate getting dressed. I like wearing like sneakers and Uggs and stuff. I'm really like chill, you know, but that's what kind of content I've been giving. So of course, you know, I gotta keep up with my numbers and all of, you know, the things that I do. So I have to, you know, keep staying that
momentum.
So let's talk about paying the bills. So what pays the bills?
Listen, social media pays my bills now. Actually, okay, let me scratch that, y'all. My fans, my supporters, my loyal supporters pay my bills. And I didn't realize how much that it really meant until when I was homeless. And I tried to do everything that I could in my power to not use the people around in my circle. So I went to a homeless shelter for women. My fame got the best of me because whoever it was that I, you know, walked into knew who I was. So, and the time was around the holidays. So she was like, we're booked, over capacity. On top of that, Shauna, you know, there's nothing that we could do because technically you are transgender. And, you know, this is an all-women shelter, so, you know, that was like a stab in like, whoa, wait a minute, like, I'm homeless, though. Like, you can't offer me anything else. And then, you know, going around from other places to different places. A week went past, and I went to my social media. I was like, can y'all believe that I found a shelter and was staying in the shelter for a week? And on my 7th day, I was like, I can't take it anymore. And when I posted that, it wasn't like I was asking for anything, but I did put my PayPal in the bio. And like in 3 days, it was like $5,000.
Wow, that's amazing.
And then like anytime I ask my followers for advice, anything I ask, it's a DM it. that's helping me, guiding me along the way. Like if I need to hook up with a rental car, if I need a flight, and like anything, my house, my clothes, my everything. It's gotten so bad that Shauna Brooks, the individual personality, the actress, all of those things, they're making their own Shauna Brooks merch. They're making their shirts. They've sent me candles. They've sent me like pillows. Like it's ridiculous at this point. But I never knew that I had that much support until I needed them. I had to go to jail, Angela, in order for the Transgender Law Center of America, the LGBT people, to come and help me. Why? When I was talking about this before, when I was going through it, y'all could have intervened, y'all could have did something, but now that you know there's a check on the line, now you want to show up and stand in solidarity with me. When I was telling you, I need help.
Right. You want to help me then?
Because they trying to bury me. So now I had to go through a traumatic issue of going to an all men's prison. At 30 years old. How is a judge going to tell me what I'm doing in my life? I hope you learn your lesson. Listen, if I was robbing banks for 30 years, you think halfway into my life I'm going to stop? No.
That's traumatic to go to an all men's prison.
Yes, and I was there, and I never talked about it, like, and that was real.
That's dangerous.
I mean, that's what he wanted. That's what he wanted. He did everything in his power. He called me a he, she. He called me a mister. He called, like, it was ridiculous. My lawyer's the same lawyer as Kodak Black's brother was. Like, we were in the same pod. So, which I didn't know. But it's just like that was too much for me. Like, and I don't even, if I have to go to jail again, I'll be on the run. I don't give a about a TV show, and if my warrant comes back, that I'm not going to jail. I don't belong there.
So that's what the law still is to this day, that you would have to go to an all men's prison. Yeah.
Yep. And then what was even more sadder was the fact that in July of 2018, Virginia had just passed the Non-Discriminatory Act for LGBT in the workplace, healthcare, and housing. So that means that there must be a set protocol in the court of law that all professionals must adhere to and adapt to how to deal with LGBT people. And I guess this judge just knew that he was about to get fired or retired, so he didn't have no fuck. And I mean, I just didn't understand that. You know what I mean? And I went in there, so, my followers sent me this right here. Like, this is a $4,000 Dolce & Gabbana's pantsuit jacket. Like they really take. If I say I need them, they gonna come through. Like, but going to jail and dealing with look. I'm a boss, and I'm good with men, but jail is not for a trans, not with men in general population. And I was there, and I had more respect as a transgender celebrity in jail than I do out here in these streets.
Wow.
Listen, my wig was still on, my jewelry's still on. Like, they treated me like. Listen, they already knew who I was when I came in there. So it was kind of like, oh, y'all don't see me, y'all don't follow me on the regular side, but when I'm in here, now y'all all want to.
Y'all know me now. Oh, you know me now.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, women and men, it's always a double.
It's always.
So seeing an older woman with a younger man,
I get it.
Like, it's a little different. Depends, you know what I mean?
She won a second round. She won a second, third round.
But men are already like a little behind us, so I feel like
way mature faster.
Yeah, way more mature. So I feel like I've dated a guy that was younger than me, and it was just no connection. Like the sex
you
was
have a connection with somebody your age.
No, the sex was good, but like other than that,
second, third
yeah,
round,
I'm like,
all.
what is he talking about? Like half of the shit, he's like, I like this superhero movie, and I'm like, I know that people watch that. Sorry, guys.
No, but that's how I feel about dudes who mess with young girls.
Yeah.
What y'all talking about?
Exactly.
It's nothing to talk about. We just smashing. That's what I'm trying to say.
They talking about A Boogie and stuff like that. You don't know A Boogie
stuff. I'm not talking about that shit.
Yeah, see?
I don't even care about that.
I just think it's stupid too, because when you get older, like, yo, you gonna last all of these years just to get an STD from a young mother. You know what I'm saying?
They out there.
Word is born. You know they out here wild.
They out here wild.
You don't never hear conversations about safe sex around these millennials.
Nah, I hated condoms at
We
one
grew up
time.
in the condom era. We grew up in the protection era. These kids just be fucking.
We did.
I'm not gonna lie, when we had Who Kid on lip service, he told us he never heard of condoms when he was growing up. That's what he said.
We grew up in the condom era?
Hell yeah! The rappers even was talking about, yo, put a Jimmy on before you slide up there.
TLC had the shit in their eye and shit. No, that's a fact.
Yeah, she had it on her eye, not on the man meat. That's what I'm saying.
You may not have been using them.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I don't think
they was heavily promoted.
No, yeah, I agree.
It was DARE program.
Hell yeah!
Now the DARE program ain't had no fucking condoms.
I'm sitting there agreeing with your dad. Yeah, hell yeah. What you talking about? They ain't no condoms.
Then DARE Lion came in with condoms. For everybody.
Damn condom.
I thought it was a DARE program. They had the black and red shirts. I thought they had condoms.
That's drugs.
Well, they gave me condoms.
The DARE program?
Whoa.
Hell yeah.
They was trying to give you a different message.
Drugs and we're saying drugs and bad is at the same thing. It's both gonna kill you. So why not help you out?
Drugs and bad.
It's like the same thing.
Context. This is where we go back to that context.
Drugs and bad are the same.
Yeah, they both will kill you.
Not really.
So you can have protection.
Ain't nobody ever off bad pussy.
Herpes and AIDS. What the hell are you talking about? That's overdosing.
That's not overdosing.
That's an overdose.
No,
I told you herpes is just a skin disease
that you don't want. So that's overdose. You know how many people I know overdose and still alive? I know people who overdose. Listen, put it like this: if you overdose, you still alive, you got herpes. If you overdose and die, you got AIDS.
No, you sound crazy. That don't even match up.
No idea what the hell
makes sense to me.
What was the first thing you said passionate about bullshit?
I bet you take a shit. I bet you listen to what I said right now.
I bet you that somebody in this room got herpes because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It ain't me. I got checked last. So it ain't me.
Who you think it is?
No, you ain't never got checked.
I did get checked.
When you got checked?
I told you I got checked.
Oh, after you Usher chicks?
Hey, stop it.
Same girl.
Shut up.
You got it then.
You didn't know that, Lori?
No.
I don't know if y'all think that we great idiots or not. How you in the show, Dwayne?
Listen, I never heard that.
Dwayne.
I never heard that.
You didn't know Wax was with Usher chicks?
Dwayne. I don't know if y'all know we great idiots or not.
This was so terrified.
Jesus Christ.
Listen, he called the homie Van at TMZ and was like,
Wax, you got herpes.
No, I don't.
You got herpes.
No.
Yes, you do. You was trying to find her so you could kill her ass. You're not gonna call TMZ, nigga. Got herpes.
because he was
he wanted to do about something out. No, I was trying to see what's going on. But no.
You knew.
Everything was good. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I don't know who the person was, but if you do have sex, knock it off. If you do have sex with somebody with herpes and they don't have an outbreak, you should be okay.
Dive in it.
But no, I'm not saying dive in it because there's a lot of people out there who got herpes, they just not outbreak and they ain't telling people. That's kind of
First of all, herpes is just a skin disease.
You understand?
It's not a sexually transmitted disease. You can get that shit on the toilet.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
What? Oh, here goes T. Diddy.
T. Diddy. Where your glasses at, Chris?
You're so nice.
Hey, don't cut it out.
She really is T. Diddy.
Yeah, she is. Look, she snatched everybody's mic tonight.
The producer?
Okay, go ahead.
So look, I heard that
Take that. Can't stop, won't stop.
Yo, I heard herpes, so you can get herpes even with condoms on.
Yes, it's a skin disease.
From kissing,
I don't know what's
right?
wrong with y'all. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like the stigma around herpes. Only because I feel like people haven't done enough research on it to know that it's not a.
But you don't want them rashes on your face that we and you saw. You don't want the motherfucking meats with the fuck.
You had it on your lip.
No.
Yeah.
I don't smoke with him. You
Stop
know
lying.
I'm dead serious.
Yo, ask him how
Watch the videos of the podcast.
Listen, we talked about this motherfucker. His sore was right here.
The biggest herpes sore on his
No, it was not. I fucking popped something I shouldn't have popped it because we was going to the beach and I wanted that off.
I said, man, you gotta pop it. If you don't pop it, you gotta burn it off. You gotta pop it, you gotta burn it.
It was more of a scab.
It was like this all over.
Why'd you tell him to burn it?
I didn't think you were really trying to do it.
I popped it to the store. Man, that was so many years ago. It was not on my lip anyway. And one of my boys started talking, and I had to get his ass.
Everybody was acting like they didn't see it. Smoking big blunts by itself all weekend. Damn, y'all don't want to smoke? No,
we good. I'm good.
I'm like, so y'all just gonna sit there and act like y'all don't see the on wax flip? Everybody's like, shit. But we had one homie who got sporty.
Yeah, he's drinking.
He got sporty and decided to let one rip.
And what did he say? What happened?
He said, your cold sore need his own wife beater.
Your cold sore like to do push-ups.
What happened after that?
I went like this. I hit his ass like this.
With your fake knuckles or your real one?
My real hand. We was in the elevator. It was an elevator. So everybody came into the elevator. He waited till the girls got. He waited till the girls got on the elevator and I said, I told him right as soon as we got an elevator, I'm like, yo, chill out with that Bite laughing through the hallway. So I'm like, listen, these girls get on the elevator, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And they was bad girls too, you know what I'm saying? So as soon as the elevator closed, your coach like to doing some push-ups. He needs his own wife beater. I just told this mother. He had a couple licks, he was drunk as hell.
That motherfucker actually with the cold sore.
Oh my God.
All the liquor flew up in the air.
Liquor flew out the cup. He had the cup in his hand, but the liquor flew out the cup and then fell back in the cup. Never seen no like that in my life.
He is huffing, puffing. I told you. Now everybody laughing at you. Just hold that whole fuck how many floors we had? Maybe 2 or 3. I wasn't getting laughed at.
He would let him ride with us in the truck.
Yeah, well.